Hi guys, in this video we're going to be doing some magnetising, and the vehicle I've chosen to do this one on is the new Games Workshop model, the Taurox, or the Taurox Prime. And I've done most of the magnetising already on this. For instance, the rocket pods, or sorry, the missile launcher, that actually has two magnets in here, one there and one there, and then one here and one there. It's not the tidiest. This was the first one I did. This was the test run, and of course once the missile's on there you can't see it. Excuse my hissing like a snake at the moment, but it seems I've got a blocked nose. I've also already done the turret piece, which I've done one side, which can either of course have the attachment on for the cannon or the Gatling gun. I haven't magnetised the cannon because it fits in, and when you shake it, it stays in there. And then I've already magnetised both of the hotshot volley guns, so they can go on there like that, or they can go on the sides like that. Same with this one. And then I've literally just put the green stuff over and such, which I'm not sure how well you can see that. I'm sorry, I'm trying out a new lighting system and everything, so let me know if it's any good. Anyway, let's crack on and we'll start doing this. What I've got is a Dremel, and I'm using this, basically a filing point I suppose you'd call it. It's flat on the end and cylindrical. What I should be using is a 3mm drill bit, which is the same size as the magnets I have, as you can see there, but as you can see here, I've broken my 3mm drill bit, so this is why I've been using this. Now obviously if you use a 3mm drill bit, then it's going to be a lot tidier, but I'm having to make do because, well, I'm impatient and I can't wait to get the new one. So what I do first is, as you'll notice, it has this turreting on it. Now my magnets are 3mm, so they are too big to fit just under the turreting. So what I've done with them, as you'll see this side here, I've actually flattened out the turreting and then put some green stuff over it, which I've only just put on. This stuff's still wet, still drying, sorry. So I'll smooth it down afterwards and then paint it over and just look like blocks. So here we go. Now obviously wear your safety glasses for this stage, and as I said, this is a lot easier if you've got a drill bit. Now don't go crazy on it, just do a bit, and stop, and then remember you're going to have the wet, or sorry, not the wet, the melted pieces of plastic in there, so just get a screw or something, or the tip of your knife in, and clear that out. And then what we want to do is check if it's the right depth for a magnet to fit in there, which I'm not sure if you can see that. I do apologise if not, but basically it is the right depth that a magnet will then fit flush in there. So what we're now going to do is glue that magnet in. Now the important thing is, obviously on some pieces, for instance I had an Orc bomber where I could attach the Dakka guns over the side of the wings, or if not leave it open for the vents, and that of course was only one piece that joined to one piece, so it didn't matter if it matched up with anything else, as long as of course it was two opposites. But with this, of course, the guns that's going to be going on the side of the turret are also the guns that are going on the side of the vehicle, so this needs to match up on this side, and the same with this side. So bear that in mind when you're putting your magnets on. And what I find is, I put a drill bit on the end of mine. This was a drill bit I intended to use, but it's a wood one, and this point's too bad because the plastic's so thin it pokes through before you get your hole bored. Anyway, sorry. What I do is I get this, like I said, and I find out that side attaches to the gun, and obviously it repels away from there, so that means we'd have it this way round in the turret. So what I then do is move the screw to the other end so it sticks on like so, as it's meant to be, in the right direction. Right, sorry about that, my yabbering got me carried away and I lost track of time. Anyway, so as we've got the hole in the side of the turret here that we've bored out, and as we said, it fits the magnet flush. Now obviously you can find this sometimes complicated to get the magnets the right way around, and of course they keep flipping and such. One easy way to do it is if you're doing it like this, where we know because it fits on like that, so the weapon fits onto this end, we know that if we put that into that end, then we're going to be okay. So one easy thing to do is actually mark this with like a little bit of paint or something beforehand, or even just a permanent marker or something. But I'm going to be cocky here. It's not the right way to do it, this. I'm just going to take it straight off of the stack of magnets, but sadly sometimes it then involves you actually having the next couple of magnets stuck together. And through gluing this taurox together, I now have 2 sets of 2 magnets stuck together that aren't ever going to come out, because not only are they magnetised together, they're now super glued together. Right, so there we go. You can see we've put it in. It is actually a little bit lower, but that doesn't matter, because what we're going to do is, sorry, let me just put my hand there, see if it shows a bit better. What we're going to do is put a bit of green stuff over this now, just to cover it up, because of course the thing is, if we don't have a weapon here for some reason, like for instance if we've got the missile launcher on, so you don't have the cannons I don't believe, then we don't want it just looking like a block, well, as it is, bored out with a magnet in it. So what we'll now do is get a bit of green stuff. I've already rolled some because, like I said, I've only just done the rest of the pieces, and we'll just get it, well, let me just dry the super glue a little bit. Now one thing to mention here is I have done the back of that gun, but I haven't done the back of all the guns because, to be honest, it's quicker not to, and once the guns are on, you're not going to see it because they're going to be magnetised on, and when they're not on, then you're not going to see them because of course you're not going to be using them. So, you know, it's your choice. If you want something that looks nice and smart, for instance, if you were going to sell it or something like that, obviously I'm not, this is just for me, then you know, you want to cover it up, but for the effort it's just not worth it. Anyway, as we can see, I've just smeared a piece of green stuff over here. Sorry that I did it off camera. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the flat side of a knife just to smooth it down, and then when we get to the edges of the square as it was, once again just using the flat side, careful still though obviously because it is a knife, pay attention, and I'm just smoothing it down just to cover all the recesses and such. And you can still see there, I apologise it's not very well, but there is still some magnets showing on the top, so I'm going to grab one of those blobs that I pulled off and push it on the top, and then just smear it over. Now of course this doesn't have to be perfect, obviously if you take more time over it and you've done it with the right size drill bit and such, then it would look a lot better. But one thing here of course is my green stuff is getting very tacky because I dried it a while ago, sorry, made it a while ago when I did the other bits, and it's under this hot light and it's just starting to set. So all I've done is just rubbed a bit of water on it there, and I'd say I'm happy with that. Right, so all we'll do is we'll leave that to dry, and that's what we've done with all of these. If I just give you a quick show around, obviously the side guns, you get the choice of an autocannon or a hot shot volley gun. So here's the hot shot volley gun. It can fit on the side of the vehicle there, tips up and such, shake it about, it's fine and everything. I have got the autocannon here, but I was going to show you how to do it, but I think we get the gist just from doing that bit. The only thing to remember with doing the autocannon here is there's these little tags on the inside, which if you're careful with a knife, especially if it's sharp, you can just slot them out. Though you don't really need to, because of course you can do this. Now I'm using the blunt side, I'm not actually putting a knife towards myself, be careful. Now it's literally just the same thing, which is Dremel, multi-tool or whatever on, put it on a flat surface. I'm sorry if you can't see this. Make sure it's level and in line where you put the rest. Just bore the hole, and we'll come back and I'll show you. Right, once again apologies for me getting cut off by the time there, but like I said, this is it. This is a new setup for me, a new way of doing my videos. This is also the second model I've actually magnetised, and the last one, like I said, was the Orc Bomber that I showed on my Welcome to the Chaos video, I think it was. It's a cheesy first video I ever done on YouTube, don't worry about it. But so like I said, we've done all magnetising now. These are the ones I already did. This is the gum that I've literally just done. I'll take some close-up pictures of these to add on to the ends. But like I said, all we had to do was take off the pieces that came down that would have lodged into the side of the turret, which obviously we filled that in with the magnet. Now you can see, for instance, on this one it is a bit high, but it was very difficult. I mean, it was 3mm magnets and the space was pretty much 3mm. You were very precise touching them. If you don't want to go straight in with a 3mm drill bit or something, I'd recommend using something like this, which of course is like one of the fine point file things, and starting the hole in the center and then starting to bore it out with like one of these circles or something. Then maybe go into a bigger one and then using something flat just to get the bottom, or even whilst it's hot because it's been melted, picking it out with the scalpel carefully, or just some sort of pick. But anyway, here's all the magnetising we've done. I haven't magnetised the roof because basically the plastic's so thin I'd really struggle. My driver I have got, but sadly I got carried away when I was gluing him, and I've glued him right in the top position. So, sorry, not my driver, my gunner. So you can only really go on with the turret. But anyway, that roof sits there. This roof sits here, which, like I said, we've put the two magnets in. On this bit, I found the best places to put the magnets is on the sides here. One there, and one there. Sorry, let me just try. Oh, that's not worked. Right, and that's because if we put them down the bottom, then they'd show up on this groove when we didn't have the missile launcher on there. So we'll put that onto there. You have to excuse me on one-handed, I have just broken my light fitting. Like I said, new system. Then we've put two magnets on the end of here. It is a bit scruffy, but these ones are going to be hidden anyway and you won't really see them. And I have, like I said, it was the first bit I tried for this model. Then of course the turret goes on as the turret does anyway. There's no need to magnetise that, it just twists on the same as any one. You could of course put a piece so you can magnetise it to fit the bolters on the front of it, but I don't need to. So we've got the piece for the cannon. Once again, it's got a magnet in there that fits on that side. We've got the cannon and the Gatling gun, which we haven't magnetised because they weren't needed to, where they held in so well, as I showed you. Sorry, so that one and that one. Then we have both autocannons and the hot shot volley guns, which are magnetised and can be fitted on the side or up on the turret instead, as they're meant to be. So we've got all the variations for this taurox all done with the magnets, and all we've used is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Oh, unlucky. But maybe not, because realistically it's quite lucky. We've now got all the variations for that taurox, and I mean, I set up, I think 150 of these, cost me about 99p off of eBay, plus maybe postage of £1 or so. But you know, when we've just used that many, I've only got this many left because I've actually mislaid half of them. They've stuck to something, annoyingly. But there you go. For that sake now, you can buy one taurox and you can do all the variations just by putting a couple of magnets on. Like I said, the more careful you are, the more it'll come up. But realistically, once you paint that up and such, you're not really going to notice it. So, there you go. Of course, if you are that concerned, then you can always go and have a look for smaller magnets. Like I said, these were 3mm. Maybe go for 2mm. I'm not quite sure if they do them, but have a look. So, anyway, I hope this has helped some of you. And we'll come back for another video at some point with the painting of it. I'll let you go now, and I'll put some videos up of pictures of the close-ups. Cheers, guys. Bye-bye.